checking us out.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Hey, we are back. Hey.
Back at you.
It is a Man Up Monday. It's a pleasant night.
It's gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous. We had to do this tonight.
55.
The weather. I was like, you know what? I gotta man up and do this because there's too much that's gone on, and we're gonna get to it all.
Yeah,
and you know what we're talking about. That is the redoubtable one, Thomas J. Question one, Ronald J. IDD. For those who I don't disagree. Segment one on a Man Up Monday. Trades abound. The NBA landscape and the Western Conference has been flipped on its ear. Just laughing at the conflicting reports from, first of all, Kendrick Perkins, do the world a favor and shut the fuck up.
I haven't really heard much.
Well, Kendrick Perkins seems to think that because now Luka and LeBron are on the same team, they're going to roll through the Western Conference. And Charles Barkley, who has a league MVP, is a first ballot Hall of Famer, goes, I don't know about that.
I was thinking they might trade LeBron.
Because this also came up. Because this is the thing, that they do the same thing. And the last time this experiment happened, his name was Russell Westbrook. It blew up in their face. LeBron took zero responsibility for it, basically threw his buddy Westbrook under the bus. The Lakers apparently didn't tell LeBron about this trade. Probably because they didn't want his input because they're replacing him. This is now Luka's team. Let's be very clear.
That's what it seems
Let's
like.
be very clear about something.
Yeah.
LeBron, thanks for the memories. Stay, leave. We don't give a fuck. We've accommodated you 6 ways to Sunday. We can't finish higher than 6th in the Western Conference. And yes, you were 5th going into the weekend. But the bottom line is this. You've never finished higher than 6th since that stupid bubble tournament when half of these guys bowed out. Where you won your one fucking token title. Okay? And they traded Anthony Davis because he was their most tradable piece. Now, the problem with that is... That was I'm laughing at Windbag. Just, the Lakers hit a home run. They hit a home run. You basically are replacing with LeBron with a smaller, slower, not nearly as in shape LeBron, who just lost $100 million because he's fat. And because he wouldn't get into shape, and Mark Cuban gave him every chance under the sun. And I don't want to see Cuban playing dumb on this because no one makes this trade without the owner's approval. No one.
But Cuban's not the majority owner.
Well, then good. If he was in the dark, then he should have been because honestly...
But let me ask you this, though. So I hear what you're saying about Luka and his skill level and physique and all.
It's got nothing to do with his skill level.
Work ethic.
He can play. It's not his work. It's not his skill. He's as skilled as they are. It's his work ethic.
So
bingo.
So I hear what you're saying about that. My only reason why I'd say I think LA did well is that Dallas could have gotten a lot more. I feel like I know they got AD,
but this is the thing. Let me ask you. Here's the thing. Everybody keeps going, Dallas could have got more.
Most people value
the fact that Dallas did this so quickly tells you how disgusted they are with him.
So something.
And by the way, that should be a red flag to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Because common sense, to your point, goes, wait a minute.
You got one first-round pick.
What the hell? Why would you do this like this unless there's more? Okay?
Sure.
And there's more. Okay? And you're not going to hear about it until it blows up in LA's face, which it is going to.
Well, it had to be one of those deals where they call LA and they go, hey, we'll give you Luka right now for this. But we're not going to sit here and wait for you to make a decision.
We want Anthony Davis straight up.
Right. And Max Kleber, whatever the hell his name is.
To make the money
and
work.
one first-round pick. And the Lakers got to be going, holy shit.
Yeah.
Should we take this fucking deal?
Look, I don't blame LA for pulling the trigger on it because they were never going to get a player of his potential.
Right.
Keyword is potential.
Especially if they're thinking, hey, we could also flip LeBron and maybe here's our future.
You bring up an interesting point. Now, Stephen A. Smith.
They were kind of in hell.
Stephen A. Smith dismissed this very quickly, and I was surprised he did because the reality is LeBron is many things, but he's not stupid. He knows right now that while him and Luka can win a lot of regular season games because they'll outscore you, it doesn't work like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
In the playoffs, defense wins. And if you don't play defense, you will not get past the second round. You might get out of the first round, but you will get bounced in the second. And I got news for you. We've already seen this play out with a team like this. So now, again, to be fair, the Lakers aren't done. If they add a defensive center, if they can find one. And there's a couple that are out there, depending on what LA's got to give up to get them.
A couple of people were surprised they didn't get one of the bigs from Dallas. Which
Lively's out for the year.
Oh.
He was off the table.
So they couldn't give him Gafford.
No.
Because they need Gafford.
No, Davis wants this. I'll tell you what, Dallas in the immediate future is going to be better for this because he gets to play 4 with this guy, and Kyrie and him will be, talk about a pick and roll nightmare.
That's true.
They're going to be a problem. If Klay Thompson can do any shooting at all, they're going to be a problem. Because here's the thing, Dallas last year couldn't stop a nosebleed. That's no longer their problem. He plays defense. He is 26 and 12.
Oh, yeah.
He was having his best year, 2 blocks a game.
He's just got to stay on the court.
He's got to stay on the court.
That's an F.
No, but of course it's an F. But if he does, the next 2-3 years, they have a small window here. Dallas has to fill out around him now. If they get Lively and him next year will be very interesting because Lively can play.
He's one of those athletics.
This kid is 7'1". He runs like a deer. I am very curious to see these two next year together. That's going to be very interesting.
It just seems so weird that a team could lose that much production, regardless of work ethic and all that.
If you think about it, though, you're not because he averaged
33, 9, and 9.
Versus 26, 12, more rebounds. Defense, by the way. Remember, and I keep saying this.
So he saves points.
Let me explain this to you. I've said this and you've heard it, but let me spell it out for the slow people out there who don't understand this. And I said this to my son asked me this question today, but he's 10. I get it. He's like, Dad, why would they trade Luka? He scores over 30. I'm like, what good is scoring 30 if you give up 30? Because literally that's what he does. And I was saying this before the finals last year. This is why I said the Celtics going to beat them in 5. Because I don't care if he scores 30 on one end. He's going to give it up on the other end.
Yeah.
And the difference with the Celtics was they're going to beat him up. Jaylen Brown's going to wear his ass out. And he did. Okay? So he averaged almost 30 in the city. They lost in 5.
Yeah.
If to your point, you were almost predicting a sweep, but we didn't know what Porzingis' status was. Had Porzingis been healthy, that would have been a sweep.
Yeah.
Okay? So don't give me this crap. Don't give me this crap about what he is, because the reality is that's not changing.
But
it's not changing.
Doesn't it feel like almost all ball-dominant offensive players are like that?
No.
Because I think about Jalen Brunson.
No.
I mean, I love Jalen Brunson.
Michael Jordan
but
was
he
not like
is,
that. Michael Jordan was
dude,
not
you're talking about
like
the greatest
that.
ever.
Bill Russell is the greatest ever. Let's be clear about something. They changed Will Chamberlain said it best. They changed the rules to hurt Bill and I. They changed them to help you, Mike. And Bill Walton heard the whole thing because Mike had no rebuttal because it was true. Well, that's why he's number 2 on my list to Bill.
Okay, so you're talking about the second greatest player of all time.
But he's not the only one. Kobe was like that.
Kobe's another great.
Who are we comparing? Luka Doncic right now.
Luka's not on their level.
Oh, actually, he's higher. You know why? Because he's right there with Michael. He has currently the second highest career scoring average in NBA history behind only Wilt and Michael. He's 3rd right now.
Damn.
Okay? In the playoffs, he is 2nd to Jordan, playoff scoring average.
Right,
so
but he doesn't play defense.
I'm saying that's the table people are putting him at, and he doesn't play on one half of the floor.
That's not the table you and I are putting him at.
No, but that's why we do this show, and that's why we're number 1 in Italy and Belgium. Okay? The bottom line is...
Especially Italy.
But the point is that he doesn't play on one end of the floor. And here's what you people don't understand. Getting in shape isn't going to change that. Do you know why? Because defense is not physical, it's mental. He doesn't have the mentality to shut somebody down. He wouldn't know what it is. Okay? They don't teach that shit in Europe. They teach offense. I know. I've met many of them. I've played against and schooled several thousand of them. Okay? When the Russian-Lithuanian national champions came over and played against my team, their first stop in their 35 city, we bitch slapped them by 40. And they were all bigger than us. And we slapped them around like they didn't know what hit them because they don't know what defense is, and we locked them down. And by the way, 30 years later, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed because Luka Doncic is a top 5 player in the world. He doesn't play defense. Yeah. Nothing has changed. It's got nothing to do with him supposed to be, he's supposed to report 230, came at 260. That's got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. It's up here. And that's never going to change.
He's really 260?
He might be more than that now. I mean, he's been sitting on his fat ass for about, 2 months now?
I mean,
you think he's getting in shape?
He holds it well.
He just wears a bigger shirt. You can get those triple XLs.
How tall is he?
He's 6'7". Look, from a skill set, he's
nasty.
He's close to Bird. That's saying a lot. Bird's skill set is the best I've ever seen. Okay.
He's one of those guys that just kind of like
He's close.
He plays at his own pace.
He's not Bird, but he's close. The thing is that nothing. LeBron James doesn't play defense anymore either. So while LeBron can probably get him in shape, yeah, he can because he's from here. He understands it. Okay, but the thing is, like, he's 40. And by the way, what's he going to do now? Is he going to guard the power forward on defense? Oh, baby. Here's the problem with this. If you look at who's ahead of them right now, you've got OKC, nope. Houston, who comes at you in waves, nope. Denver, they couldn't stop Denver when they had Davis. Is LeBron James going to try and guard Jokic? Good luck. I would love to see it. It'd be embarrassing. Kuminga? No, not happening. Okay? They couldn't guard Murray either. What are they going to do?
The Knicks the other night.
Rob Pelinka, and I'm certain Pelinka's doing this. He is combing the trade.
Rob Love.
Rob Love. He's looking for defensive players. He needs them on the perimeter, and he needs them inside now. He's got to find at least 3 of them. And they've got to be able to be on the court and not in garbage time.
Out there.
Kid from Utah, who's a center or a power forward.
What about the Wizards center, the white guy?
Yeah, but what was
it, Drunas or something? Or? You know what I'm talking about? Big white. So. I don't know how defensively he is, but he's a big fucking body.
Well, the Wizards are always, when you're as pathetic as they are, I don't know what.
Dude, they'll always sell off.
Yeah, they'll sell off. They're just a used car.
Give them a couple of second-round picks.
I mean, the Wizards are they're just a.
What the fuck is that guy's
They're
name?
the Village Bicycle. Everybody's bent them over. It's just, look, I don't know.
Everyone's bent them
I don't know. They are. They're the Village Whore. Everyone's bent them over.
I think they're the Village.
They're the Village Brothel.
Village Glory Hole.
They're the Village Brothel.
Glory Hole.
Glory Hole.
They don't even look
Loop,
at you.
no loop.
You don't even see them.
Loop, no loop. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They don't care. They're so immune to it now. It's been bent over so many times. They are the definition of federal pound me in the ass prison. That's them. Okay, if you go there, that's where you are. You're in a federal pound me in the ass prison. So we could, Is there something they could get from the? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Council.
Cubs manager. Yeah. I mean, look. LA has to do something because this roster's incomplete. If it's and this is where Kendrick Perkins.
I would love to see LeBron get traded. I think that would be cool.
But this is where Kendrick Perkins is off his rocker, and Kendrick Perkins has a ring with the Celtics. Okay, and I said Kendrick Perkins was the Black Zoolin. If he turned left, he explode. Okay, he has no left, he has no right, he has no anything. Kendrick Perkins is the worst center in Celtics history to get a ring. He's worse than Greg Kite. I swear to God, he's worse than Greg Kite. Greg Kite was
Wasn't Scals a center? Or no, he was like a power forward.
He was the fitness trainer. He was always on the bike.
Okay, let me propose this to you, okay?
Yeah.
And I haven't watched any of this coverage, so I don't know what they've been talking about.
I'm going to try, by the way, we're going to try a new one tonight here on
yes.
the air.
It's pretty good. Tastes pretty artificial, but most of them do.
They are. But they all are.
Basically cancer-causing sweetness.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say...
Not bad. By the way, that's spectacular.
Dude, with Pinnacle?
Yeah. Pinwhip. Could be a Saturday Night Delight.
Yeah.
Could be a Saturday Night Delight. We'll figure it out. But anyway, so what are you proposing? What's your proposal here?
Okay.
You're playing LA? You put on your GM hat right now?
Yes. I would like to see LeBron get moved because I think the Lakers have been looking at their roster for a year and a half going, we're fucked.
You're not good enough.
We're fucked.
And you don't have any
We're stuck. We've kind of committed to LeBron. I know he only signs like these 3-year deals, so you're not in hell forever. But like him and AD, like you had kind of reached your ceiling, and you're paying them both all this money. But if you flip LeBron right now, let's say you send him to the Warriors because they talked about that last year.
What are you going to get from the Warriors?
Maybe you get back Draymond. Draymond.
First of all, right there. Right? How many years did you have before you came down here?
None.
What's in this shit?
Okay, so you get Draymond, you get back Wiggins, and you get a bunch of picks.
Now, Wiggins would be interesting.
Yeah, but he's not going to make them great.
No, he's a wing defender. He's a very good wing defender, actually.
Yeah.
He's the only other one on that team besides Draymond who plays like a defense. Look.
Who's their big? Who's their big? Something with an L. The Warriors, right?
They got the kid from Indiana.
Looney?
I don't know if it's Looney, but the kid from Indiana is good. The 6'10" pound Jared, whatever his name is.
Is he good? Jackson Davis,
Jared,
whatever his name is?
whatever his name is. Yeah, he's good. He's solid. He's in his second year. He
scratch
he rebounds, he runs the floor, he can finish around the rim. He's like 6'10".
Okay, scratch that.
Yeah, he's not a center. They need a center. I mean,
well, they have the Warriors have one.
Look at what to your point. What Stephen A. Smith was floating today.
What was he saying?
Was that and he knows this shit because he's Stephen A. Smith. LeBron James just bought a $32 million mansion. Okay, he's not moving. Okay, I'm sorry. Anthony Davis did this. LeBron's been there. He's got his roots there. His kids on the team.
Anthony Davis just bought a mansion.
Bought a mansion in LA for 3. He was not expecting this trade. Luka bought a $12 million mansion in Dallas. So,
dude, well, did you see when they asked AD like a couple days ago about something, and like some reporter was like, I mean, what do you think about the rest of your time in LA? And he was like, you're talking like I'm about to get traded.
Nobody saw it coming. And
okay, I'm sorry.
No,
continue.
But the point is that like LeBron doesn't put Golden State over the top.
Yeah,
like. And you're gonna.
Well, could they fantasize and think that he might? It's not about whether you know what I'm saying, because that's what's going to happen. GMs are going to fantasize.
Here is the.
Stephen LeBron.
If I was LeBron James, this is what I would do. If I'm actually trying to get another ring, although at this point, here's the problem with LeBron. He does this again. Forget it.
If he goes to another,
he's just forget it. Just fucking forget it. Like he will be the punchline. He's already almost there now. He would be the punchline of whenever someone talks about the GOAT, you can't ever. They would just laugh you out of the bar. Like what, the guy who went to 5 different teams to get rings with loaded teams. Because here's the thing: if I'm LeBron and I say fuck that, I want my 5th ring, I'm going to the Knicks.
Oh, that won't work.
Yes, it will. But you'd have to give up OG Anunoby. And by the way, LeBron's better than him by a lot. Can you imagine him, Cat, and Brunson?
Yeah, but Brunson needs the ball all the time.
LeBron would have to be willing, which they're saying he's going to be with Luka, to play off the ball. If he's willing to do it with Luka, why would he be willing to do it with Brunson? I'm just saying, if I'm LeBron, the fit that would make the most sense is that one, because you have two studs in their prime, and he would certainly be a great third wheel to those two.
If he takes that role, but he won't.
If he wants a ring, that's where I would want to go, because that team with him could win the whole thing this year. Because you put those, you can match Boston. You can. You can if he is there. You can give up Anunoby because again, LeBron will give you. He's a walking triple-double right now. You put him next to those two.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It'd be interesting.
It'd be very interesting because he would take a lot of pressure off those two. Now he's out there running around. If you're a defense, you have to account for LeBron James running around. You cannot take your eyes off him. You cannot double. You cannot. He would open the floor up so much for those two, way more than Anunoby ever could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anunoby doesn't.
So I'm saying, if I am LeBron, and again, this is not going to happen because LeBron doesn't care about anything but his brand. Okay, if LeBron really wanted to win, and again, the Knicks would have the piece that LA would want.
Yeah.
Which is a young wing defender to pair with Luka.
Even though that Anunoby contract is hefty.
So's LeBron's.
He's not getting paid as much as Anunoby.
He's making $50 million the next 2 years each.
I know, but Anunoby's signed for like $210 million.
But how old is he?
I don't even know.
He's young.
27, 26?
Yeah. LA would have no problem with that contract. You know why? Because Luka lost $100 million in the fat sweepstakes. They can max contract him at $250. They don't got to pay him the $345.
I wish I could lose $100 million in the fat sweepstakes. I would have lost.
It'd be a nice problem to have.
I would have lost it. I mean, I'll take $80 million.
I'm saying. And by the way,
if I were an NBA star, I could lose $100 million.
If this doesn't, see, but the thing is, this is why Dallas did this, because they don't think it will wake him up. He's just now somebody else's headache.
Yeah,
they went as far as they could go with him.
I heard somebody say it's like The Big Short. Like they are betting that Luka is not going to be the player everybody thinks he is, or
include me in that camp because I don't think he'll ever play defense.
Yeah,
he never will, and it's got nothing to do with his weight. Nope, he will never.
Is there
ever.
Any other team a realistic?
If you're LeBron,
no, like that. Maybe the GM. See, the only reason I say Warriors is because they talked about it last year.
Steph wasn't going there. LeBron wasn't going there. I don't think that changes. And by the way, if you're, and I said this on the last show, I think I said it to you. If I'm Steph Curry, I win my 5th ring. This is my generation now, not his. Why would I want to get it with him? He's the guy that I measured against.
The Warriors have no shot.
LeBron doesn't put him over the top.
Agreed.
So what's the point of that?
I think it's a fantasy that GMs will go, ooh, I can pair LeBron with Steph.
If I'm Steph Curry, I'm looking at the Knicks. You imagine him and Jalen Brunson together with that dude? Holy, I'd give up Anunoby for that in a heartbeat.
A consistent three-pointer the Knicks have not had.
You put him and Jalen Brunson together, you got a problem. That's the best backcourt in the NBA. Right then and there. And backcourts win.
But you can't give up OG for him, right?
Yes, you can, and you should. If that ever, I would in a heart. Look, I have some.
They couldn't defend
with those 3 guys out there. I don't think
they wouldn't need to.
No, you have to. They could. The Splash Brothers weren't a great defensive team. They could. They made you play their style of play.
But Steph isn't what he was.
He doesn't have to be with Brunson and him out there. That's the beauty of it. He complements them. And Steph Curry doesn't care about anything other than winning. He would have no problem doing this.
Yeah.
We'd have to carry the load? You think Steph at 35 wants to keep carrying the load? He doesn't. He wants help. He's not going to get it there. They shouldn't have re-signed Draymond. Draymond should have been out on his fucking. They wasted money on him.
I know.
He should have been gone. That was a big fucking mistake.
They should have kicked him to the curb.
He should have been gone before. You were right about that. He should have been gone before Klay Thompson was gone.
Yeah.
So
as soon as he punched that kid,
Mr. Single triple single isn't getting you anything.
Triple single.
Okay, that's all he is.
Oh, come on, he's a quadruple single. Give him that. He'll throw a steal in there.
I thought you meant fouls.
Oh well, no, because he almost gets double on those.
Is he's a
quintuple single.
Actually, he's a double. He's been ejected like 10 times. I mean,
Remember that time he choked Cat from behind, or was it Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert, who by the way deserves a good choking. I mean, that's probably the one he got right. If we're being honest, all right. But I mean, the thing is, look, I'm just saying.
Punch and pull.
I'm just saying, if you're LeBron or Steph Curry, the team that that would work for them is that either one is the Knicks. They're a contender. They have the piece to give up. They can make the money work. And both of those players would complement the 2 studs you have very nicely.
Yeah. Brunson had 40, 10, and 6 tonight.
I'm saying, if he had Steph Curry next to him, holy fuck. And you got Cat Towns running around. Are you kidding me? Because now you can run a pick and roll with 3. Are you fucking kidding me? They'd be a nightmare even for the Celtics. I mean,
dude,
so.
On Saturday night, that game against the Lakers was frustrating. Because the Lakers were small because AD was out. And they double-teamed Cat.
I think the Knicks seriously are getting Boston Celtics syndrome. They're doing a lot of the same shit the Celtics do. So it's kind of weird how that's happening.
Well, they're frustrating team
eerily similar.
They're frustrating to watch. They like to chuck threes with the best of them.
Yeah.
But Cat was getting double-teamed.
Yeah.
And then they were doubling off of Josh Hart, who, when you throw out a pass from the double team, he's reluctant to shoot the 3 because he's not a great shooter.
No.
He shoots rhythm threes in the flow of an offense.
Sure.
But he's not just going to spot.
He's not a knockdown shooter.
He's not.
No.
So they were doing that. No. Then the other part that the Knicks really struggle with on defense, if you run a pick and roll and you're picking Brunson, I would say 60 to 70% of the time he makes the wrong decision on the pick and roll. He doesn't fight over. His switches when they don't call switch. It's like
the problem with Jalen. Jalen has one distinct weakness. He's small.
He is small,
and John Stockton struggled with this. All small. Isaiah Thomas struggled with this. All small point guards. If you're below 6'3", 4,
and they run offense
at you, you get caught. You get caught in no man's land,
and you look bad.
Yeah, because you can't defend the roll because that guy's probably 7 feet or 6'10". You're fucked.
Right. That's why you have to fight over. So you're
trying to fight over, but you're so small you can't get around it on time. But it's like, so it's very. Listen, he's not the first. I'm saying there's a laundry with Tim Hardaway. But like I go on and on and on.
I know, but like Campaign, who's not much bigger than Brunson, he's fighting through the screen. But it's almost like he's reluctant to be on the ball because they'll go by. He's defensively, his feet aren't what they are on offense.
He's not swift of foot.
But on offense, he is.
No, he's quick on offense, but he knows where he's going.
Right, that's true.
He's dictating tempo on it. It's different. Sherman Douglas was like this.
That's a good
Sherman Douglas was a very good offensive player, but defensively he was kind of pudgy. John Bagley was another one. We had a 15-year career. No one even knows it. He was a pudgy little point guard who could shoot and could pass, but defensively he was a liability because he wasn't quick enough to stay with these guards, and he was small.
Yeah.
So he was small and pudgy, like Lowry, like that prick, and like you could run him in the screen roll and fuck him all up.
Yeah.
And trust me, this is as old as the game itself. I've never not seen it with a small guard.
So it's just real. It's a size thing.
It's a size thing, and you can't fix that. The problem is, all right, hold on. There's one way to do it, and it's funny because nobody ever does it, not at the NBA level. The best way to defend that is actually to trap the ball and send a third defender at the roll.
And try to get him to do the skip.
Literally,
pass.
the guy whose man sets the screen comes over the top on the other side and turns him back into the guard who's coming up. So you trap him, and you run a third defender at the roll. That's the only way to really defend.
And the third defender comes from the far shooter.
The nearest, well, here's where the NBA is so afraid to do this because the spacing is such, and everybody's shooting. I mean, even back in the Bird and Magic days, they were afraid to defend this like this because they were shooting. Well, they weren't. I mean, there were shooters out there. There was Birds. There was Chris Mullin. There was guys that you couldn't leave open. Dale Ellis from Seattle was another knockdown shooter, and Hodges, and they were at Mark Price. They were out there, but there's more of them now.
No, everybody on the team shoots.
Yeah, I mean, there's not all of them shooting. The funny thing is there's no post game now because everybody fucking shoots. So it's like
they all stand at the 3-point line.
Yeah, which is the problem. So they're all trained to do this now because it's a copycat league, and they're trying to. Golden State started it, and now Boston. They're trying to get like the Celtics. So the thing is, I would rather because again, it's still the lowest percentage shot in the game. And again, you leave the least likely guy. You know who that guy is on the floor. Ooh, that hurt.
Right on the back.
Yeah, that hurt. Oof, that really hurt.
Tailbone.
Yeah, tailbone. Shit. We are watching Kansas, Iowa State.
I wouldn't get up from that.
That hurts.
If that happened to me right now.
Tough kid.
I'd be down.
You fall 4 feet and smack your tailbone on a hardwood floor, you're not getting up for a while. He's up and he's shooting free throws.
Oh, shout out to Mikal Bridges tonight. Fast break. Stepped right on a guy's foot and a real bad roll. Not a slight roll. Ankle all the way under.
Oh, weeks. Like it blows up like a balloon.
Stood up and kept playing. Finished the game like a full quarter.
Tough kid.
I was like, holy shit. He's never missed a game in his career. Mikal Bridges.
Tough kid.
Yeah.
So, which is another feather in the Knicks cap.
Also needs to learn how to stop the ball sometimes on a fast break. But I love you, Mikal.
They outscored Houston 46-29 in the fourth, by the way. Houston is no joke. I know they're missing 2 players. You were missing Anunoby, so that kind of.
When OG goes down, it hurts us.
I'm sorry, but that cancels that out because he's better than both guys you're talking about. I know who was missing. He's better than both of them. Let's be honest.
Dude, all of our players are better than theirs, but they're a good team.
Ime Udoka might be the best coach in the NBA. Let's just say it. Call it what it is.
Dude, he gets in players' ass.
They were so bad 2 years ago. They were 38 wins last year. Look at this year; they're at 32, 33 already.
Yeah.
In 2 years, and he doesn't have a marquee superstar.
No,
not one.
But
so Harden tried to go back there. He said no.
They do have some serious talent on that.
They
roster.
do, but they don't have. This is the other thing that makes them dangerous. They don't have one guy.
No, they're a team.
They have seven. They have 7 guys averaging double figures, and the 8th guy is at 9.5.
Well, so Van Fleet was out.
Yep.
He's a leader.
He's their leader, assist guy,
and their center was out.
Who's good,
and he worked Cat's ass last time we played them. So
he's good. He gave the Celtics fits.
So I think those two were kind of even to OG.
Yeah, they are. To me, it was a wash.
Yeah, it was a wash.
OG was out. I'm like, it's a wash.
Right.
Boston blew them out in Houston, and then took. All right, we'll take. Then they took them lightly, and they wet themselves. Yeah. Well, Missoula said he wet himself. But if you beat him by 36 in Houston when you take him seriously, you should beat him by at least 20 at home.
There's no way to wet yourself.
Yeah, that's just cocky.
That's a jerk off.
It's a jerk off. Which they almost did last night.
It's an absolute load.
They were in the midst of a ginormous, like whale-sized load, and then in the fourth quarter,
I finished that.
And in the fourth quarter, they realized what the hell was happening.
They realized Philly sucks.
Yeah, and it was 38-16 in the fourth quarter. And
I love that because Philly was dancing in the third quarter.
There's Boston
what a bunch of front.
No,
exactly.
No.
I loved it.
And look, that's Jason Tatum's 35 points, 11 assists. He's now done that 4 times this year. Who is he trailing? The legend, who's done it 5 times in a season, 35 and 11. Think about that stat.
Rebounds?
points and assists.
Oh, assists.
35 and 11 assists. Bird did that 5 times in a year, and now Tatum's done it 4 this year.
Yeah.
Think about what we're talking about here. Nobody else has ever done that.
Yeah.
Not Jordan, not Magic, Bird. I say to you, think about 35 and 11. Luka hasn't done that. Okay, so
Yeah, Brunson's been having like
Yeah.
30, 15 games
Magic
this
would do
year.
shit like that.
That shit's crazy.
But 35 and 11, like, damn. I mean, so Tatum did that
for a big?
for a 3.
A 6'10"?
Not a point guard, a 3.
Yeah.
Magic, again.
And he's a big 3.
Tatum's 6'10".
mean-
Tatum's basically like Bird, like a 4. Bird was 6'2".
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan said it best. I still don't know if Larry was a 3 or a 4. He could do either. He could literally play a game on the post if he wanted to, and then the next game he could play on the wing if he wanted. He would do that. He's like, I've never seen a guy literally do that for his whole career. But Tatum is like this. And here's the other thing about last night. That was surprised, mad as I was at them when they came back. You want to know the other reason why they came back besides defense? Tatum and Brown started posting up. Every time Maxey was guarding, they posted. They walked him right down to the block.
Smart.
They didn't fuck around with these because in the first half they couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
They were awful with these threes. They were shooting like 7, whatever it was. That's why they got
Funny
all.
because SportsCenter only showed all these step backs he hit in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter. If you saw the first 3 quarters, you just
I mean, he was
down.
wet as fuck in the fourth quarter.
They were down with. Think about this. They tied the largest comeback this season, down 26 points. They were down with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left in the third quarter. It was 90-64. Think about that.
It was ugly.
The final score.
And Philly was dancing.
The final score was 90-64. So over the last 14 and a half minutes, they held Philly to 20 points. And they scored 118. So from 64, this is what this team can do.
They almost
Think
doubled
about
their
what
point.
happened. I'm talking about 14 and a half minutes.
That's almost double.
You have kind of firepower you got to have to be able to do that in 14 and a half minutes. I don't care who you're playing. You're on the road. And Maxey, by the way, was on fire. He got 34 last night.
But that's the frustrating thing,
Yeah.
is like, that means you should have never been down 26
This is why.
to anyone in this league.
This is why.
And you spend a whole game wasting all this energy having to fight back
Why?
when you could have just bitch slapped them from the beginning.
They walked in. Oh, no Embiid and no Paul George. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then they're down 17 at the half.
right.
Because they just kept jacking threes. I turned it off at the half. I just turned it off. I didn't watch the second half.
Yeah, we started watching the Grammys.
Yeah, I turned it
I
off.
could tell they were going to come
Yeah.
back because towards the end of the third, it got to like 8 at one point, and I was like, Philly's going to blow this fucking game.
I checked my tablet, and the end of the third it was 14. It was 94-80. I'm like,
okay.
all right, because the thing is, when I looked
to 10 in the third too, didn't they?
well, no, they got to 14. It was 26 points
Yeah.
with 2.5 minutes to go, and they took 12 points off the lead in 2.5
By the end of
minutes.
the third, yeah.
And went from 26 to 14. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Remember
All
how
right.
we always go, if you get it to 14 by the fourth, you
Well,
got a shot.
but if you're the Celtics, that's actually possible. So,
Yeah.
but the thing was, when I looked at the highlights, Tatum and Brown, because actually I recorded it, so I watched the second half again. From the middle of the third quarter on, all of a sudden, those two started posting people up. I'm like, huh. And they started, problem was they traded with them for a while. And then actually Philly got hot, hit a couple of threes, and that's when we got to 26. And all of a sudden, Boston just went, that's it.
And that French guy.
They turned up the defense. Like Holiday and Derek White just said enough. They did enough. Maxey in the fourth quarter did nothing. He had 30 points at the end of 3. He had 4 points in the fourth quarter. And they were all over him. Like they just were like, it was like fucking watching coyotes attack a fight. It was like, what the he couldn't go anywhere in the fourth quarter. And then when they came out, Jaylen Brown was up in his nuts. I'm like, damn, they were all over him. And they were like, fuck this, you're not doing
It's
another
impressive. Maxey's tough to go.
Maxey's an all-star for a reason. And he's a guy you can build around because Embiid's out of there. They just have to figure out who's going to be dumb enough to take his contract.
Yeah, at this point,
they're done with him.
It's better to play them with Embiid. He slows them down. He clogs them up.
Oh, he's worse. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Philly,
takes away.
I would shut him down for the rest of the year so you can trade him. Because Philly's not, they're not going anywhere.
They're too far in the hole.
They're too far in the hole. Paul George, who I really feel bad for, I don't know how he gets out of town, but he needs to get the fuck out of there and go to a contender. That team's not winning.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody Paul George goes to does this. It's true. It's true.
Look at the 2 teams he's picked.
But that's his pick.
He went to the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard gets hurt taking a shower. Then he goes to Philly.
And he picked that. He wanted to team up with him. Then he goes, oh, man, I don't like playing with injured people. Hey, Joel, how you doing?
Hey, Joel, you look healthy.
Hey, Joel, you look great in that playoff series against the Knicks.
I mean, you look dirty.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I don't feel bad for him.
No, I mean, so look. No, I don't. I don't either. But the thing is, like, he's snake bit. He can't make the right choice.
Yeah.
I mean, his agent's going to go, look, let me pick this one because honestly, you're going to fuck this up. You're just going to fuck this up.
How long's he there?
I don't know. I think he had a 3-year deal.
But
if they're going to sell the farm, which I would be doing if I were them, like I would trade him and say, look, where do you want to go? We'll get you out of here because this ain't happening. Unless you think you can get something for Embiid and build around him. And
who could you send him to? Like Phoenix or somebody?
I wouldn't go to Phoenix.
Yeah, it's probably like the same thing. Well, but he probably would.
Kevin Durant.
He'd go Phoenix? Hell yeah.
Kevin Durant. You got Bradley Beal has to get out of there too. He's just trash, pure trash. Like just waste of time. Anyway, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna give you a first look. I want his take. I want 3 keys on this weekend's Super Bowl.
Ooh, 3 keys.
3 keys. We're gonna talk about that. We're not gonna predict them.
3 kilos.
Because he's gonna be here tonight. Tomorrow, Law Dog's gonna be here. I want 3 keys, and then we're gonna pick this game Friday or Saturday night. We're gonna pick it, but I want 3 keys from him from each team. What are 3 keys for each team to win this game? So we will give you a first look at the Super Bowl coming right up segment 2.